Hi guys, today in Storyland and we will talk about an anime entitled Kenichi OVA, which was released in 2012. Stay tuned, we'll have spoilers to follow. The story starts with Kenichi, who seemed cheerful because Ragnarok was disbanded after Ryoba's defeat, but Tanamano warned him people who are more dangerous than Ragnarok will come to him. As the strongest student of Ryuzenpaku, Kenichi was rewarded with a special suit. It consists of a jujutsu and karate kimono, a muay thai top, and kung fu pants. This suit was exclusively made by Shigeru, so that able to withstand a bullet. Sakaki got an assignment from the cop on a secret mission to escort an American gun dealer. Sakaki invited Kenichi to join in on the mission to give an experience in the real world of martial arts. This gun dealer was hunted by an assassin named Christopher Eclair from France and was a member of the Yomi subdivision. Yomi is a worldwide organization of martial arts experts whose ideology is Satsujinkan, or feeling fist, where its self-defense is done to kill. This was in stark contrast to Ryuzenpaku's ideology of Katsujinkan of saving fist, which uses self-defense to save people. Christopher used to be Sakaki's colleague in America when he was a bodyguard. His martial art was savate. Savate, also known as boxe francaise, is a French martial art that uses hands and legs as weapons by combining fists and kicks. One of his techniques was Savage's Hurrigen wrestling. High-level battles between masters always amazed Kenichi. At first their fight was even, but as a Grand Master, when Sakaki got serious, Christopher was utterly crushed. The next day, the headquarters of Shinpaku Alliance was visited by Reichi Lai from Yoma, who was looking for Kenichi, the strongest student of the Ryuzenpaku. Yomi itself is the strongest martial arts student organization in the world under Yami's auspices. Reichi Lai is a kung fu practitioner from China with Chichokan line. Its form is hard forms like Hikkeiken and Hakyukyuken. Chichokan combines aerobics and kung fu. One of its techniques is Tonkon Sekuet Tui. Its movement is similar to Chinese Shaolin films, which are shown like drunken people. Against Reichi, Kenichi used a technique from Ryuzenpaku to lock Reichi's moves as he didn't want to hit women. But Reichi was able to escape by jumping and kicking him. After that, Reichi used Ranzewa technique to knock him down and then used Shukuru technique to punch him in the face and kick his chest at the same time. Fighting Reichi, who was moving like a drunk while bowing low and attacking from below, put Kenichi in a hard time and got hit many times. Kenichi then used a technique from ancient jujutsu called Idori and proceeded with Samakudori technique, where Kenichi put Reichi's arms behind his neck and slammed her back and locked her. Seeing his daughter has been defeated made Tenman Lai intervene to bring Kenichi himself to Yomi. Tenman Lai is a kung fu master of the Chichokan line as well as a member of Yoma subdivision. He showed the true horror of Chichokan to Shinpaku by destroying everything in his path until Kensei appeared. Against Kensei, Tenman used Chichokan and Zui Quan techniques where his body spins fast while giving multiple blows. Kensei resisted with one of Teichi techniques by rotating his arms to neutralize the attack. As a Grand Master, Kensei started to get serious and launched attacks to defeat Tenman. Tenman, who had been defeated, left Ryuzenpaku and warned Kenichi that Yomi would continue to chase him. At the Yomi headquarters, there was a meeting of Yomi higher-ups. There was also Ishinsei Ogata, master of Ryuta Asamiya, the leader of Ragnarok, who had been defeated by Kenichi. Yomi was led by One Shadow Nine Fists, extremely powerful martial arts masters. Akira Hongo attended the meeting with his strongest student. Ishinsei and Hongo were the first two refilled One Shadow Nine Fists. Akira Hongo's strongest student was Shu Kano, who was also the leader of Yomi. When Takeda was on the street, he met with a very strong man. That man was able to defeat a swarm of Yakuza in a blink of an eye. He was James Shiba, the famous former world boxer champion and a boxer grandmaster. Takeda said he wanted Shiba to train him boxing so he could deal with Yomi. Meanwhile, Shiba said that he broke his right leg and lost his right eye during a fight with One Shadow of Yomi. Feeling his fate to take revenge on Yomi, Shiba agreed to train Takeda. Alexander Gaidar, who was a former Special Forces commander of the Russian army and a member of One Shadow Nine Fists, ordered Boris Ivanov to go to Japan on a Shukano mission. Boris was Alexander's strongest student. In Japan, Boris met the leader of Yomi. Shukano assigned him to swarm all dojos in Japan that are not subject to Yomi. Boris and his men had defeated 58 dojos and left one dojo remaining named Ryuzenpaku. When he entered the dojo, all of his men were suddenly crushed. Kensai told him that it was Ryuzenpaku. It turned out Boris misread the letter and came to his nemesis' place. Then, Boris challenged the Ryuzenpaku's strongest student, and the battle between Kenichi and Boris begins. Boris's martial art was combat sambo. It is an innovative wrestling style that was more dangerous than the original to destroy the enemy. Combat sambo combines wrestling with punches and kicks, which is more effective in long-range combat. Boris immediately issued a deadly move called Circle of the Shinigami to kill Kenichi. The technique was occupied by locking the opponent's body while strangling from behind. Luckily, Kenichi managed to escape from Boris's lock using his inner power. Boris launched a continuous attack. But Kenichi was able to block with Seikuken. The battle was even until Boris got a call from Shukano that he had invaded the wrong dojo and asked him to withdraw. Alexander scolded Ishinsei because Boris mistakenly invaded the dojo, but it was Ishinsei's plan. Sakaki and Apakai, who needed some money, invited Kenichi to join an underground battle. Kenichi issued his strongest technique, Mubyoshi, to defeat a big but slow opponent and used a combo that specifically attacked the opponent's head. With his elbow when fighting with a fast but weaker opponent. When he had made a lot of money, Sakaki and Apakai took him home. Kenichi was on a school holiday on a snow mountain with his friends. At night, Kenichi and Mew were lost and went to the castle on the top of the mountain. There they met a prince from Tidek Kingdom, which is located in Indonesian archipelago. Jihan presented them Indonesian traditional dances. Surprisingly, the dancers suddenly issued kujang and karambit, Indonesian traditional weapons, to attack them. The prince introduced himself as Raiden Tidek Jihan, one of the 9 lead Yomi members, as well as Boris. His martial art was Penkak Silat. Penkak Silat is a complex and brutal martial art in which its practitioners can fight with bare hands or use their special weapons to kill their target. Kenichi and Mew were able to defeat the troops which blocking the road and escape, but Jihan chased after them and attacked using a tiger technique to prevent them from escaping. This technique attacked Kenichi's neck for real like a beast and almost killed him. Mew told him that her grandfather, Heioro Furenji, who was famous as the strongest person in the world, had a hard time dealing with Penkak Silat Master and ended in a draw. Then Mew and Kenichi ran away. Unfortunately, Mew had a fever, couldn't walk further. Kenichi had to hide her in Robe Station. Then Kenichi fought Jihan and his troops. Jihan showed Kenichi a deadly move by aiming for his eyes. After that, Jihan also deployed a technique which specifically attacks the opponent's vital point. Jihan said he mastered 18 moves and would show 3 moves which enough to kill him. Kenichi then used both hands to attack and defend. The front hand is used to block any incoming attacks and launch counterattack, while the back hand is also used for defense and surprise attacks. After that, Kenichi used his new strongest combo, the strongest combo 2. Kenichi, who was off guard, fell down with Jihan. Then a masked figure appeared. He was Silkwat Genazad, Jihan's master and one of One Shadow Nine Fists member. He was also the man who can fight with the invincible Superman. Genazad couldn't stand to see Jihan struggling against Kenichi and made an avalanche to bury both of them and went to find another student substitute. Luckily, Tanemoto came and saved Kenichi, but Jihan unfortunately couldn't save himself from the avalanche. Jihan's disappearing made Yomi will launch more intense attacks on Kenichi. And the story ends here. What do you think about Kenichi Ova? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell to receive notification of the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video.